volunteer experience. This section always gives you an extra edge to make your CV stand out, like I mentioned earlier. Therefore, it's important to include various volunteer opportunities during your med school and post graduation. Elaborate your contribution to the communities you have worked for and share the impact on people living in that community. Include the name of the organization, location, and duration of work. Once again, dates on one side, your information on the other. So, why is volunteer experience important? It's voluntary experience speaks a lot about you as a person, not just a doctor. Once again, it's simple concept of you're doing more than what you're just being told to. Okay, so volunteer experience is, please don't take volunteer experience as a burden, guys. Don't do it because you have to put it on your CV. Don't do it because you want to like I said, don't just do it for the purpose like you have to put it on your CV, or is it like a, don't take it up as a task, but more take it like a hobby or an activity. Doing volunteer experience, you're going to learn a lot. If you're an introvert, or if you have trouble communicating with people, or if you have a language barrier where your English language is a problem with you, please go out and try to be a part of any volunteer experience. It doesn't have to be only related to me. Even it's okay even if you're volunteering at an animal shelter. It doesn't matter. As long as you're having the, if you're making an effort, effort counts, guys. Any day an effort counts. So try to go. So when you're going to trying to be a part of volunteer program or volunteer organizations, you learn a lot of things. You try to understand how it feels to work as a part of a team. All, I'm sure many of you have already worked as teams during your med school. You know, you have your school group discussions and you have your own teams assigned during your clerkship programs. But it's still when you're a volunteer experience has people from different fields of expertise, not just medical school. You could see a person volunteering as a bank manager, let's say, or you could see a person who's in the probably a government role, or you don't know, who's working in different sectors other than medicine, trying to be there. So you get to interact with a lot of different people, you get to understand, you get to meet a lot of people, learn a lot of valuable points, and that helps you build your connections and also build your interpersonal skills, communication skills. I'll give you a short example of this. I was When I was in during my rotations in Florida. We all know Florida has a lot of Spanish speaking community. So the only Spanish exposure I had was like from an app called Duolingo. The only words I knew in Spanish were "Hola, tú come manzanas, tú come pan," which is basically like, "Do you want to eat apple? Hello, do you want to eat bread?" Something like this. Leche means milk. I know just bits of words, but these are never gonna help me to initiate a conversation. So when I was working at a research organization, I had few friends of mine or colleagues of mine who always encouraged me to speak more. And I wouldn't say I'm comfortable with Spanish, but I could say at least I could initiate a conversation, at least in a respectful manner, so that I don't offend anybody when I'm approaching them. So it really helped me. So, like I said, I know I have many friends of mine who were struggling with English, and or but when they once joined or volunteer organizations, they had to communicate with a lot of people, be it their colleagues or be the other general population they're talking to. It really helped them gain confidence and improve their communication skills. And also you learn to organize a lot of things, because when you're being, most of us are students trying to be a part of volunteer experience, you learn to balance the work life situations. Work life balance is really important, especially when you're joining residency. You have a lot to learn. How to manage your time. For you should make sure you shouldn't just dedicate yourself to your work. You should make sure, let our friends know that we still exist from time to time. I always keep telling my students, please take time, please take good care of your health, because let your friends know that you exist. And because it's really important. So when you're doing this as a student especially, it really helps you understand how to plan your day. if I'm going to the volunteer, what times I'm going to be spending there, and I'll make sure to come back and carry on with my regular med school activities or regular work activities if I'm working at the hospital. So hope that's clear. And it uh, one advice would be, uh, please try to volunteer. uh, it's a really good thing to do. It'll teach you a lot. I hope everybody learns something, and let's go ahead. So, how would you mention your volunteer experience on your CV? So, you're gonna obviously under the title of volunteer experience. Let's say I'm volunteering at on an organization called NY Reach, which is a really good organization. NY Reach. So, I'm working there from, let's say, Jan 2020 to present. I'm gonna put the dates, and like I said, like many organizations you could put, and then you're gonna talk about the key responsibilities that you've gained. You're gonna gain many skills like we've discussed before. You could know what is patient support, health education, skills learned, teamwork, interpersonal skills, time management, patient advocacy, and achievements, improve patient experience, community engagement, continued learning, and professional networking. All right. Uh, so, like I said, all these are going to be always a plus on your CV. They're going to make it look much better. They're going to highlight a lot. Especially, I have students who come to me with, Doc, I have low scores, so how do I improve my CV? I always tell them scores are not the only thing that you would want to highlight about yourself, because many people are applying for the exam. It talk You can probably study and write, but what they would need at the end of the day, a program writer would look for somebody who can be a part of a team. Residency training is not a solo job. You cannot just be by yourself, do things by yourself. You need to communicate with your fellow colleagues, fellow residents, and you need to maintain a friendly environment so that you're not stressed, and they're gonna help you out in. Not every day is going to be a bright day for you. There are going to be some off days. So during your off days, your colleagues will really help you out, and you'll feel the importance of teamwork during these times.